Good morning, students. Welcome to the class of Social Science. Today we are going to start with chapter number 4, Early States of Political System in India. So, let's start with the first point, how some men became rulers. Starting with the recent past, you all are aware about the voting system and choosing a leader through voting system, which had been very common after the independence. But the early Vedic period was totally different in some or the other way, as they were having the tribal policy with a tribal chief as the leader in the center. For example, a kind of Kabilai rule, where the most powerful person was selected as a leader, and then after the tribe people were supposed to follow his orders without any objection. And later, if anyone challenges him regarding the fight and would make him lose, then the leader would be found changed. So, the tribe or Kabila people were called as Janas, and the chief or the leader was called as Rajanya. But along with time, the Kabilai system transformed into the monarchy in the later Vedic period, where king and queen were having the supreme power in their hand. Whatever they say or decide is found to be the final decision, and the people were bound to follow it without any objection. And monarchy system was a kind of system where the position were being gifted as hereditary. Like, for example, if a father is a king, the child of him would suppose to be the next king after him. Then came the British people to rule over us. And after that came the democracy, where people got the actual right to select their leader through the system of voting, as we discussed in the very beginning of the chapter. Have a look over the pictures of the tribal people which are still found in many parts of independent India, generally known as Adivasis. And the political setup during that time even had an organization like Sabha and Samiti, where Sabha was a kind of general assembly and Samiti as to organize or to manage political activities, where all the important matters were discussed and were get resolved. Even the same kind of system is there in our present day political system at lower level, in village or in taluka, where still the Sabha and Samiti system is being followed, and the common issues are still being resolved by them at their level. Here you can have a look how it was being conducted in the olden days in the first picture, and the second one describes about the same system being followed by the Indians even in the present time at village level or at taluka level. Now let's talk about Janpad. The word Jana means people and the word Pada means foot. In simple terms, we can say that the group of people together used to settle down on a piece of land, and that piece of land where such settlements were being found were known as Janpads. Archaeologists have excavated such places in Delhi and Meerut, where the evidences of such settlements of Janapadas were being found out there. And during their excavation out there, they found about the kind of lifestyle they had by the time. For example, they lived in the huts and used to tame animals for the domestic purposes and used to do farming activities and grew crops like rice, wheat, barley, pulses, sugarcane, sea sands and mustard. They were also involved in the pottery business, where they used to make the earthen pots which were found in grey and red color, and with the marvelous designs, lines and geometric patterns made over it to make it look beautiful enough. You can have a look over these pictures which will help you out to get exactly what kind of it would have been there. Coming to the next is Mahajanapadas. Before giving a start to this topic, let's study the below given map in detail. Altogether, there had been 16 Mahajanapadas. Let's study it in detail. Kamboja and Gandhara to the topmost northern part of India, as you can see there. Then Kuru, Panchala, Kosala, Mala, Surasena in the northeastern part of India. Then coming towards Kashi, Magadha, Anga, Vijji in the eastern part of India, and Matsya, Vatsa, Avanti and Chetia in the central part of India, and only one Asaga is there in the southern part of India. It is believed that there had been many Janapadas in the very beginning, but about 2500 years ago, many of them became more important than others by conquering the smaller one to become the most powerful amongst the all. And those powerful Janapadas were known as Mahajanapadas. And most of the Mahajanapadas had a capital city which were forfeited, or you may say that they were surrounded with big walls of wood, bricks and of stones around them. Have a look over this picture. You will have a clear idea about what I was trying to explain you in the previous slide, that how the capital cities were forfeited or being surrounded with big walls of bricks, stones and of woods around them. And it was being built because people of many Mahajanapadas were afraid of the attacks from other kings, and to feel protected they used to build it. And another possibility was there that many of the rulers wanted to show that how rich or powerful they were by building large, tall and impressive walls around their cities. And through this, the people living inside the forfeited areas can be controlled more easily by the kings compared to the one who are being found living out of it. And such kind of huge structure requires a great deal of planning. On and around thousands of bricks, woods and stones would be required for constructing such a huge structure of walls. And ultimately, it would require many laborers for the same, possibly around thousands of men, women, and children. And to maintain all this, the convenient resources had to be found out. Have a look over the picture of the wall in Kaushambi, which is there nearby Allahabad, Uttar Pradesh, which was built about 2500 years ago. Even the kings of that time started maintaining armies for being prepared of the sudden unpredicted attacks by the invaders. And for the same, soldiers were paid regular salaries, and even the food and accommodation was being provided to maintain the army throughout the year by the king. And the salaries were being paid through punch mark coins. Have a look over the picture of punch mark coins, which were known as the first coins of India, which was minted in around 6th century BCE and were also called as Puranas.